I'm Rose Reed, and I'm weaving a headband.
So here we are in old downtown Covington. This is one of our first interviews with Between the Pages today, and we are visiting at Dane Books and Gifts. This quaint little bookstore, gift store. It's such a nice place to visit and just sit and read sometimes. And they have such a wealth of books, and they can also order practically anything you need. Now, I have with me here today Mariana. She's one of the co-owners of the store, and I want her to introduce the store a little bit. How long have you been?
So, we opened May 13th. We're just a little bookstore in downtown Covington. We also have lots of local gifts, so everything you see that's a gift is going to be locally made. We also always are doing events. So since it's December, we're doing Christmas pictures with Santa Claus. And we have like free cocoa and free cookies sometimes. And coming Mardi Gras, we'll probably do some Mardi Gras events, maybe a little parade. So you can keep an eye out on our calendar, so on Instagram or Facebook or on our website at Dane Books and Gifts. This is Rose Reed. She is the creator of these wonderful headbands right here. The perfect gift, by the way, if you're still holiday shopping. And I guess I'll let you take the reins from here.
Yeah, and I don't know when this interview will come out, but I did hear tell that Santa Claus is coming on the 22nd of December. What time is that?
That is at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. So Santa Claus will be here if anyone's interested.
Free cookies and cocoa too.
Oh wow! I have also heard he has a few other little gift items, but so that's gonna be nice. I hope this thing comes out before that time frame. Well, anyway, so thank you so much for sitting in with us for a few minutes. I appreciate that very much.
Yeah.
So, as Mariana said, this here is Rose Reed. I find that very interesting because my email address for the Between the Pages today happens to be read@betweenthepages.today. Well, Miss Reed, welcome to this little interview we're going to have today. I couldn't help but want to have you to be one of the first interviews we were going to have, because a young person like you taking on a challenge like this, you're learning so much. You're learning inventory, costing things, advertising, and all of these things while you're doing this. I find it so interesting. I want to ask you a few questions, and you can change the subject anytime you want or add to what I have to say. But I guess one of the first things is your name and your age.
You know my name already, and my age is 8.5 years old.
And I notice you really speak, you enunciate very well too, by the way. Do you have any little brothers and sisters?
I have one brother, and I have 2 sisters, and another one on the way.
That's interesting.
I'm the oldest kid.
Oh, and you're the oldest. That does bring on a big responsibility, doesn't it? Now, where do you go to school?
I do homeschool.
Homeschool. How do you like that?
I like it.
So you put a lot of study in, but I'll bet you there's a lot of practical learning and study at the same time when you're at home. Do you help with the kitchen items and cooking and such?
Sometimes I help my dad make mac and cheese, and also I help my mom make gumbo.
Oh my goodness, that sounds very interesting. Gumbo. Most people who live in this area love a good gumbo. Do you have any hobbies?
I like playing soccer. I'm not on a soccer team, but I like playing soccer with my siblings.
With your siblings. That's nice, yeah. And I was also curious about, do you read a lot?
Uh-huh.
What do you enjoy reading?
I enjoy reading American Girl books and box card children books.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go into understanding, how did you get started in this business?
The day I got started with the business is the day my dad came home with the $10.
With the $10. Oh, good. And I'm trying to think, where would that $10 have come from? Let me see something. I saw your work, and I thought these bands were so incredible. I don't worry about my hair getting in my eyes, but the band is put together like so, and you just tie it to the length you want and tighten it and so forth, and you put it on actually a lady's head, and it holds back the hair, doesn't it? And I understand that. How long have you been doing this?
A pretty long time.
Very long time. And so you started the business soon after because you realized there's a need for it?
Yeah.
Yeah. In other words, you see other people on the streets and they have hair bands, and you think, well, you know, those are nice, but I don't see anyone wearing this type. So it's just so totally different than all the other hair bands you see. Now, I have a question for you. When I saw your hair bands, yes, I told your dad I wanted to have a hairband for someone I know. And so I said, how much are they? And he said, you know, I don't know. Well, being an old man, you know, I've been around and I've had a few businesses, and I thought I put a price on it that I thought was a fair price, and I gave him the money, and he said, okay, I'll order it. I said, you know, if she needs more, let me know. And he said he would do that. Now, but since then, I went up to my attic, and you know what I found? Have you ever made any pot holders with it?
Yeah.
Isn't that fun? You see, the art she's doing is not just educational, it's not just fun, it's something to do constructive with your time. And someone your age coming up doing constructive things with your time and not just sitting in front of the TV or playing video games, you know, that's a good thing. When I used to do things like this, I would actually pray at the same time. I would pray the rosary, I would pray to St. Joseph, you know, when I do my woodworking. So I'm assuming that maybe you have some prayer time sometimes with some of your work?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. What type of prayers do you pray when you do your work?
One time my family did a decade of the rosary, and I made a headband while we were doing it.
While they were doing, you see, so you did a decade of the rosary and you're making a headband. In fact, I know that you have a display here with your headbands, and I found the display was so attractive, really nice. And again, it shows, you know, the advertising part of selling your items. Who helped you with your display?
Dad made the wooden thing.
Okay.
And Mom took a picture of me with the headbands for the little thing. Then she printed out the little like thing and folded it.
Uh-huh. Well, I saw it and it looked very nice, and I think your selection of selling here at Dane Books and Gifts was an excellent idea. As I was saying, I know you have a really nice display here, and I think someone has it right here. Maybe I can show it here on camera. Thank you. So you were saying, I think, that your dad helped you with the display, with the wood? Mm-hmm. And it's this, I mean, it's a great little display, and these are adorable. You know, I can't imagine any young lady not wanting one, but I also can't imagine any lady not wanting one of these.
Can I tell you something? So, my last name is Reed, R-E-E-D.
Yes.
And it's sort of a play on words, read along. And it's R-E-E-D instead of R-E-A-D.
That's a very, very enlightening idea there. To play with words is always kind of fun to do, isn't it? And I like that. I saw that, and that's a very good point. I like the fact that you pointed that out. How supportive have your parents been with this project of yours?
Real supportive.
Real supportive. I'll bet you your mama said you can do anything you put your mind to, huh? Something like that. She said, Rose, if you want to do this, you're going to do it, huh? Yeah, she knows that you're a very hardworking young lady. So your future plans are that you're looking at your cost base, okay? And you're also looking at what you have to put out as far as the funds. So numbers change all the time, okay? So if today, and I'm just throwing numbers out at you, but if today this costs $2.50 to make, tomorrow it could cost $3.30 or $3.40. So the price could go up on your materials, which means you have to bring up your price. And of course, if you sell it at a store, the store also has to take their portion to pay for the rent, right? You understand all of that, don't you? Mm-hmm. So yes, right now it's a certain price, and I'm not going to go into how much it is. And in the future, you may have to raise that price because materials go up, and everyone does it. So that's totally understandable. Your future plans would be that you plan to make many more of the headbands. Do you plan on doing any of the, for instance, pot holders? That's what we used to call that, a pot holder. It's also for hot dishes to go on a table so the table doesn't get burned. You've made these, you said, in the past. Mm-hmm. Do you plan to make any more? It's an idea.
Good idea. I was only planning on doing headbands, but I could do pot holders too.
You could branch out, and that gives you now 2 items that you possibly could sell here at this store. In fact, I was just curious, when did you think of actually making headbands? How did you figure out that you can make something like this and then change it to a headband?
So first I started making pot holders, and then on a side of a box of my materials, there was this jump rope. That was if this was a girl, this is what the picture sort of looked like.
I'll hold it. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
And my grandma, I call her Boppy, by the way, she found this video on how to make these, and I made one of these, and I was like, I wonder what would happen, and I made it a headband. Would you like me to tie it for you?
Oh, please, yes. So that sounds interesting. So she got the idea from looking at something that looked like a jump rope with a little girl with it jumping, and she thought, I can make a headband. You started making maybe a jump rope and realized it also could become a headband. Huh? I like that. That is very interesting. I think if you sit down at night and you think about it, there's all kinds of items you could make with this sort of thing. But you know what I thought was really interesting when I looked at this, and I think of the work that you put into this, and I think, talk to your mom and dad, okay, and ask them to buy you a piece of canvas about 11 by 14, okay, in size. And then get your dad to help you or your mom to help you and paint the canvas with just a little bit of blue and a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red, a background montage, okay? And then you could take your work and put a design on, glue it onto the canvas. Now you even have another type of art. Very unusual. Nobody else does it. What do you think of that?
Cool.
Yeah, cool. I would suggest you think about doing it before I do it, because I'm a local artist myself, you know, and I would say, you know, that it's not a bad idea. In fact, I helped them with the design of this cup here. These cups sell here at Dane's Books and Gifts, and they branched out. They weren't selling this type of cups before. They branched out. Now they have a new item. You could have a new item. So it's just something to think about. What other type of arts do you do? Do you do anything else? Drawing or anything?
I draw. I sometimes make little books for my family to read.
And I didn't ask you. So what is your favorite subject at school, in your homeschooling?
I'd say my favorite subject would be math.
Math? Oh, okay. Well, very good. And do you take dance or anything? Any type of...
I do ballet and lyrical. Ballet 2.
Ballet 2, okay.
And last year I did ballet 1 and tumbling.
And tumbling. I noticed your shoes. That's why I asked you about the ballet. I can see that you just almost automatically point your toes down when you talk. So that's kind of cool. So you enjoy your ballet, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, you're an intelligent young lady. I am actually very impressed with your ideas, you know, and I'm hoping that you will in the future maybe expand out a little bit and maybe make some potholders and maybe make some other artwork, you know, to see what you got going for you, you know. Because I talk too much sometimes. You know, I'm an old guy. I talk a lot. So. Yeah, I guess pretty much asked all my questions, and I was just wondering, did you want to add anything to this?
So, what he said, and I think if you get one, you will really like one.
I think they will. If they come look at it, I think they will like one. And I think myself that this is a perfect little stocking stuffer for anyone. So if they can get in here before Christmas, I think that they would really like it. I have to try to get this edited and on the Facebook and on YouTube prior to Christmas so people will see it. You know, you are such an adorable young lady. May I shake your hand? And when you shake your hand, you firm grip and look the person straight in the eye, huh? Yep. Good to meet you, ma'am. Thank you. And thank you for paying attention to this little interview. It's not my normal type of interview. I don't know if I've ever done an 8-year-old before, but I'm really impressed with this young lady. I really am. And when I first saw her band, you know, I thought, I have to do something with this. And your mom wants you to say thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you again for coming and being with me. Don't forget, Dane Books and Gifts. And you're watching Between the Pages today.